Welcome
to our pod.
So, is there anything you wanted to talk about today?
Well,
Episode?
I would like to talk about something because we were having a conversation earlier about something that I think is really important, because I feel like a lot of people feel that they don't truly understand what a real estate agent does. Therefore, a lot of times they don't place a lot of value on what real estate agents do. It is such a long process building a business. You're essentially building your own business and you put in so much investment into it. And so all of those relationships that you nurture over time are part of that process. And when we get somebody who is interested in working with us, that is a really, really important relationship that we value. And whether or not you as a buyer or seller, you don't value that, just know that there's been a lot that has gone into it. There's hours and hours and hours that we work that we don't get paid for, and money that we put out there that we don't get paid for.
Yeah. It sounds like, to me, what I'm hearing is you would like the people to know how to be a good buyer or seller, like how to be a good client.
How to be a good client.
So how does one be a good client?
Just, be thoughtful. If you have reached out to us, if you have said, I'm interested in buying, you've done a consultation with us, those interactions mean a lot to us. That is the way that we are paid for all of the hours that we have put into educating you, or even maybe sharing a resource like a lender with you, somebody that we've nurtured a long time relationship with. We know that we've worked with this person, this lender, who is really at the top of their game and is going to give you a perfect transaction.
Yeah.
It is on us to educate you, and I own that 100%. So.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I agree. I agree 100%. I think it comes down to, like you said, being thoughtful and communicating. A lot of communication needs to be had between the buyer, the seller, and the agent, and roles need to be clearly defined.
Yeah.
So that, because sometimes you don't know what you don't know, and sometimes you'll move in a certain way thinking that you're being helpful, and it's not helpful. And honestly, operating and moving as a customer appropriately through those transactions actually keeps the agent to agent relationship healthy, so that it doesn't become like a car salesman type atmosphere in our business. Like everyone knows their role, everyone stays in their lane, and then everyone is happy. There isn't that weird cutthroat like sleaziness, like a used car. Real estate should not be like that.
That's the thing too, is that there's a lot of people who view real estate agents as unethical.
Unethical in what way?
That they're greedy, that they're salesy, just like you said, that they're only there to push you to buy a house, even if you don't want to buy one. They're going to pressure you. They're going to make you make a decision that's wrong for yourself.
So what should a customer look for when choosing an agent? Like, I can speak for myself.
You should tell me that one. I want to hear what you're looking for, what you would look for in a potential agent.
Well, here's my experience. So the reason why I never wanted to buy a house, or what made me hesitant to ever making such a huge purchase, was this is a really big purchase that will affect your life, and I never really met an agent that came across to understand the emotionality of that. It was always, very just salesy. It was the number one question was, well, okay, well, we'll get your pre-approval and then we'll see what we can do. It was very much so to the numbers first, which I totally understand, because agents are busy and you don't want to waste time. But at the end of the day, you're a human.
Yeah.
So not even having a conversation first about whether or not ask me why I think I'm ready, like ask me, and what makes me want to do this, what makes me think I'm ready. And you can get a lot of information from that first before like, well, let's get your pre-approval. Let me look at your credit. Let me look at this and that first. And then I'll deem whether or not you're worthy of my time to even talk to you about figuring out if we can show you any houses.
I love that you just said that. What makes you feel that you're ready? Oh my gosh, that's a great question. Oh my gosh, Ashanta, I love that. Literally, I just saw like little stars flying over your head. So good. But yeah, I agree with you. Like that's true. Like what you should look for in an agent is somebody who actually cares about what is good for you, what is good for your well-being financially and life-wise, because it is, just like you said, that's what I feel like the number one thing is that you should look for in an agent is that, does this person actually care to ensure that your goals, dreams, whatever it is that you're trying to achieve in purchasing real estate is going to be achieved?
Yeah.
If it's just somebody who's just there for a paycheck, I mean, I can't imagine. I mean, that's just not.
Because how are you going to even trust that person? Because obviously when you go to buy a home, you have your must-haves, you have your list of things that you want, your dreams, right? But we all know that there's going to have to be a compromise there. So how do you trust your agent when they're in a way trying to make it easier for you to settle on something? How do you know that they are trustworthy, that you can trust that intuition that, okay, you can settle on this thing that number 5 on your list is a must-have, you not having that is okay because there's a workaround with that. How do you know that that's coming from a place of genuine, it is okay, you can work around that, versus please just take as, I want the commission on this. This is a great deal for me and I'm done with you. And it's hard to know or feel like they're giving you that support out of genuine interest in you versus genuine interest in their commission and their paycheck.
I agree. And that's why you got to, work with, I feel like what we're doing now is explaining to people who we are. So you need to do research. You know what I mean? Be choosy, not just random.
I feel like there's a story there.
There's always many stories, and we learn from all of them, positive and negative. And that being said, I'm not here to like guilt people and be like, oh my gosh, you're a terrible person for doing that. No, I get it. Because I was the same way. Like, I didn't totally understand the agent-client relationship when I bought a house. I didn't fully understand when there's, how am I supposed to know until somebody tells me?
Exactly. And that's why
Yeah.
and when it comes to like signing an agent contract or, buy a buyer's contract, selling contract, you'll get kind of nervous in wanting to do that because you're like, wait, that means I'm stuck with you. What if I don't like the job that you do or whatever? But those contracts are in place. The goal of those contracts is to outline everyone's role. Like your agent needs to be working for you, and it protects everyone. It protects the seller / buyer to make sure that the agent does their job, and it also protects the agent that they'll be able to reap the rewards of any investment that they put into a person or a property.
And we're working a lot behind the scenes. There's a lot of things that go on before you buy that house, before you get to your agent. There are so many relationships and knowledge and education that we have to go through in order to make that transaction successful for you.
And there's a lot of legal responsibility that we take on being your representative. We have a duty, a fiduciary duty.
Yep. Fiduciary?
Wait, what did I say?
I don't know. You said it almost right, but
fiduciary. Is it fiduciary?
Fiduciary.
What did I say?
Fiduciary? I don't know.
We have a monetary obligation.
Ethical, a code of
You
ethics.
think you can answer this next question succinctly?
I don't know. So far, I'm 0 for whatever, 2? I'm 0 for 2.
Top 5 red flags when buying a house.
Well, if you see cracks in the foundation, I mean, that's the thing. Grain of salt, because there's so many situations. That's the thing, is that you can't, there's no black and white answers to all of these things, because there's so many.
Red flag doesn't mean that you're not going to go for it. It's just a red flag.
Okay. Cracks in the stucco or on the exterior walls.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, uneven doorways, doors that don't shut all the way.
Mm-hmm.
Another red flag is, I would say, hillside. That could be a red flag.
Why? We live in California. There's tons of hills. Everybody wants to live on a hill.
Well, a red flag related to hillside is potential fire danger and flooding. Flood zone, fire zone, because right now there's a huge crisis in California because of all of the natural disasters that happen, and insurance is incredibly difficult to get for many types of properties, and properties in different areas that are like in hillside is, you need to make sure that you can actually get insurance on that property. The thing, and I hate to even say this, is homes that are historic, because I love historic homes, but some of them have a lot of restrictions. You're allowed to fix them, you have to get approval. You also, the maintenance on them is, if like all that beautiful wood siding is so expensive to paint. I mean, literally painting a house that has wood siding, that could cost you $30,000-$40,000. So you just think about that. And I'm not saying, is it a red flag? Depending on the person, it could not be a red flag.
It could be just like a
Because you're
yellow.
like, oh yeah, no big deal. I can afford
A yellow flag.
$30,000 to paint my house, or 20 to 40, So just think about maintenance on homes that are like that. So that, another red flag is the zoning, okay? Because have you seen that movie Up?
Of course.
Like the house, and all of a sudden there's all these huge buildings that pop up. Legit, that does happen. I've seen that happen.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, okay, there's this really cute little bungalow in this.
The neighborhood that you thought you once
were
living in.
Yeah, you're like, oh, I could live here. This is cool. The price is really great price on this house. Well, that could be too good to be true right there. And then boom, all these developers come in and they start buying up all the properties around you and turning them into multi-unit buildings. And you're just like, whoa. This isn't what I signed up for.
I feel like the red flags of real estate are literally the same as red flags in dating. Literally.
What are your red flags in dating?
They're the same. Cracks in the foundation.
Okay.
If they don't have a good foundation,
Right?
done.
Okay.
Red flag, out of here.
Yeah.
Hazard zone, fire zone, like, done. Like, if they're on a hillside, like, what's their job like? Are they financially stable? I don't know. Done. Red flag.
Right there on Hillside.
If there's too many multifamily, do they got kids? Done.
Whoa.
Red flag.
Whoa.
Like, literally.
Kids are a deal breaker for you, eh?
And not necessarily, just depends on how many. If there's a lot of multifamily units around,
My goodness.
it's too much.
Join us next time as Christine will discuss when is the best time to purchase a home and should the economy affect your decision.
When is the best time to buy real estate?